This is cause number 2020 CR 2612, the state of Texas versus John Scherenhausen. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Gretchen Plater for the state.
John Young for the defense.
Mr. Scherenhausen is appearing by video conference from the Bexar County Jail. Go ahead and state your full name, Mr. Scherenhausen.
Anthony Scherenhausen.
Okay, this matter is set for trial next week. I have received the state's motion for continuance. Mr. Young, have you had a chance to review that motion?
I have, Your Honor.
And do you have any objections?
I do.
What is your objection?
Well, the first paragraph lists the Facebook and phone book for the victim. That's very nearly the only evidence the prosecution has that my client had any involvement in this. And it's sort of the essence of the charge. And to think that they have looked at it but not obtained it in the last year and a half, I think is somewhat outrageous. The statement of the defendant was given 16 months ago, and if they needed to be transcribed, it obviously should have happened sometime, and again, in the last year and a half. That they've decided that they need some telephone records from the defendant's cell phone. Again, that's the same issue is there. We were here, I believe, on May 25th, and there was an announcement of ready from both sides. The defense is ready. My client has been in custody since February 11th of 2020 on an extremely high bond, has not been able to get the funds to get out. We request the court to deny this request for continuance and continue the case for trial. Final motions are set for the 21st and jury selection on the 22nd.
So are you saying that the fact that these have not been done is not good cause shown? Because I am not going to hold anyone responsible for anything that has happened during the pandemic because there was no jurors. Jury trials resumed June 1st. So in anticipation of jury trials, I picked the cases that got stuck behind the pandemic, truly, who were in custody or ready for trial behind the pandemic. This case was not ready for trial before the pandemic. I guarantee you that. So,
and that's true, Your Honor. He was not arrested until February 11th of 2020. But at the same
Judge,
time,
if I can I address Mr. Young's arguments?
yes.
So, Judge, in regards to the download of the victim's phone, so the victim's phone was downloaded. However, the Facebook Messenger portion of that download was not captured in the download. Since that initial download, the software has been updated, and the detective believes that the Facebook Messenger portion of the download will be available on the printout that they give us. That will make it much easier for the jury to understand than me turning on the victim's phone and going through it, which would make it very difficult for the jury to see and understand. And so while I didn't know that it wasn't included until I was able to meet with the detective, because I thought I just didn't know what I was doing, but I went through it with the detective and he agreed with me that it was not on the download that they have, but the software has updated and he believes that it will be downloaded with the new software. So that's in regards to the first item. The second item in regards to the transcribing of defendant statements, we have a lot of cases. We do not get every statement transcribed. Once I knew this was going to be a trial, I took that disc to the folks in our office that do that. Before the pandemic, I would get those transcripts back in 2 weeks. I took this to them over a month and a half ago, and I still don't have it back. When I dropped it off, the lady that does it said she is the only one doing it. And I did not know that, or I would have taken it much earlier. So while that is my fault, it's something that I just didn't know at the time. In addition, Judge, as I have been working on this case, thinking about this case, preparing for trial on this case, I do believe that the defendant's cell phone records would be useful. When I met with the detective, I learned that there had not been a search warrant for those. Since then, several weeks ago, I asked the detective to get that, and he is currently working on the search warrant. I don't know if you know this, Judge, but the homicide division has had several detectives retire or move or go into military service, and they are extremely overwhelmed and behind on work.
Your Honor, my client's kind of overwhelmed with being in jail for the last 16 months too.
All right. Anything else from either side?
Nothing more from the state.
Your Honor,
The-
what Ms. Flater has said is that basically mistakes were made. Things weren't done. She announced ready on the 25th of May, and we would ask the court to hold her to that, and we would request our trial on the 22nd.
The state's motion for continuance is granted.
Your Honor, we would ask
I'm
that
not
the-
going to do 60 days, though. I'm not going to do 60 days. They're going to have to put you to the top of the list on every single request. And if I need to intervene on that, I will. July. No, not July. August 9th, Judge Ramsey will be here, or I will be back August 24th, but that slot is already taken. So do you object to visiting Judge Ramsey?
No, Your Honor.
Then August 9th.
Your
So
Honor, may I
you're,
request that my client's bond be reduced to $50,000.
no, I'm not going to do that. So jury selection is that Monday, August 9th.
Will we have a pretrial motions hearing prior to that, Your Honor?
I will talk to Judge Ramsey because you will have to have it with him. It would make no sense for me to rule on it if I'm not going to preside over the trial. I will definitely communicate that with him and see if he can accommodate you. I'm pretty sure he can. And it would be in person, by the way. Judge Ramsey only does matters in person.
I like him already.
All right. All right. Can Mr. Sharonhausen go back, or do you need to confer with him this morning?
I do not, Your Honor. I'll see him at the
Okay.
jail.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Sharonhausen can go back.
Judge, you are correct on Mr. Garcia's vacation